Support for makers comes from Bank of America and by Cypress Cove.
When I was 5, I was given a violin by my parents and one of my aunts. And in my family, particularly in my mother's side, all girls are supposed to play either piano or violin. And so the violin wasn't my choice. Somebody else picked the violin for me because my older sister was already playing piano. I was given a violin. And my aunt, one of my mother's older sisters, is a very famous violin teacher in Tokyo. And so she started me, and I studied with her for 18 years. I was about 10 years old, and there was a TV series featuring stewardesses. And, it's so glamorous, and, they're so beautiful, and, they fly everywhere, and I really wanted to be a stewardess. I was supposed to just keep on going on, this in the rail, and to go to certain school. I have to be accepted by the best music school, and then I'm supposed to go to America to study, and then become a good violinist. So I never said anything about wanting to be a stewardess till much, much, much later. There was a very wonderful Italian violinist named Franco Gulli, used to teach at Indiana University, and I always wanted to study with him. So I sent him an audition tape, and luckily I was accepted. I was supposed to be there just for 2 years. I was good enough for violin playing, but my English was so poor, so that Mr. Gulli said, well, why don't you just wait one more year? The third year was ending, and so I didn't want to go home yet. I was supposed to go home after Indiana. If I go home, though, I would have taken the same path as my older cousins. They studied abroad for 2-3 years, and then they came home, and they gave some recitals, and they played with a few orchestras, and then they got married, and then they became housewife, and that wasn't what I wanted to do. So I asked my mother again, and she said, well, it's been 3 years, and I was almost 26, and you're old enough to support yourself. So she said, get a job. There was an international audition for an orchestra in Venezuela. I took a bus and went to Chicago and auditioned, and then I was accepted. And at the same time, I was given a concerto deal. That was an international phone call. It was more than 30 years ago, so I guess it was very expensive back then. So I think I was talking really, really, really fast, so my mother couldn't really catch the place, the name of the place. So I said, Venezuela, and she thought that was San Diego, so so she thought, okay, so you're going to stay in America, that's fine. I heard about an opening for concertmaster here in Fort Myers. I had no idea what kind of orchestra or anything, so I came down and auditioned, and I was accepted. I was lucky again. It's not a full-time orchestra, so we have 5 classical series and 4 pop series and 3 chamber orchestra series. My way to understand my job is being a liaison between conductor and orchestra. I have to tune the entire orchestra. The concertmaster is the one who stands up and asks for A from principal oboe, and then woodwinds and brass and string players to tune to the same A. I was concertmaster for 5 orchestras during the course of 10 years. Then the people started hiring me for different kinds of concerts and shows. There are presidential inaugural gala concert for Clintons. I've worked with Whitney Houston, Natalie Cole, Michael Jackson, Aretha Franklin, Barry Manilow. Christmas in Washington, they do this every year. This is the Christmas concert for the president and his family and his guests. This year, there was Miss Diana Ross. MC was Conan O'Brien. Without his understanding and my kids' understanding and the supports, I don't think I could have done this. Classical music is dying. It's really scary. Here in Florida, looking at the audience, there are more elderly people than young people. So I would like, younger generation to be more interested in classical music.
Support for Makers comes from Clive Daniel Home and by Chico's.